everybody. Welcome to Tiffany Ave Talks. I am Tiffany Ave. Today, my guest that I'm talking to, if you've seen any Beyonce Renaissance content on your feed, on your timeline, your For You page, it's probably been provided by him. If you've attended any Renaissance brunches or parties this summer, it's probably been hosted by him. He is the king of the Beehive. Ladies and gentlemen, Duran Jordan, welcome.
Oh my gosh, that was a great introduction. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you so much.
You are very welcome. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, and you have to excuse me. Like, it's No Shave November, so I don't have like my face sliced and diced like it usually are. But that's because I'm growing out my beard. So, but no,
Okay.
I'm doing amazing.
Okay, great. So if you all couldn't tell by the intro, Duran is a huge Beyonce stan, fan, and Hive influencer. He creates social media content as it relates to all things Beyonce. So this is really fun for me. I'm so excited because rarely do I talk to people and I feel like they're where I need them to be when it comes to Beyonce.
That
so
part, okay.
so hopefully, this is as much fun for you as it is for me. So first, I want to start with energy. Okay. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Like, where are you from? What kind of things you're into? That type of thing.
Absolutely. So I'm from Atlanta, GA, born and raised. I did not fly here. I grew here, right?
Oh.
And so if you know anything about Atlanta, we have a lot of implants, meaning we have a lot of people that move to Atlanta. So being from Atlanta and seeing the progress of my community just get bigger and bigger throughout the years, it has been a tremendous thing for my growth. Just simply because I remember just being able to go down the street and or going to my grandparents' house and trying to figure out what we're gonna eat for dinner. Until now, it's like we have so many choices because I
Oh.
didn't have a lot of that where I lived growing up. So, but as far as me, I am 35. I am a Gemini, and I really, really just am enjoying the season that I'm in. I've been through a lot in my life.
Mhm.
But I have truly developed the love that I needed for myself. You know what I mean?
That's
And
awesome.
so, yes, this season of my life is lit, yeah, it's lit.
Period. I can tell. I can tell from the posts. You're out there.
Yes,
It's like you was on tour as well. Okay.
and was.
And so, to be honest, there's so much I could probably talk to you about, but I just want to kind of hit on some main points, some things I was wondering just from social media, that type of
Yeah.
thing. I would say I was introduced to you from this summer's Renaissance.
Mhm.
From watching your content on social media. It was just amazing, and you attended a lot of shows. How many shows did you attend?
I went on the Renaissance tour was 7 times, or 7 different shows, and this was the Kansas City show was my 20th overall Beyonce concert ever.
Oh.
I was so excited to hit that number. So yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. So I kind of want to talk to you about moments from Renaissance Tour. It's only right I start with this one because this one is my favorite, especially you.
Thank you for coming to see this Renaissance. I love you. I want to thank you for your loyalty, especially you.
I want to
Yeah.
hear, first of all, I want to know how you was able to get that content and breathe at the same time.
Okay, listen.
And then just
Um,
tell me what that meant for you and how did that feel?
so first off, I don't know how I was able to contain myself, Tiffany.
Mm-hmm.
Like it really was an out of body experience. I don't think people really you see the glory, but you don't know the story.
Mm.
And I will say that leading up to that moment, prior to that moment, I was going through something very life changing. I would say it was a lot going on in my life. I had just turned 35, and when you're little, you always think about what you will be when you're 35. Oh, boy, by the time I'm 35, I'm a millionaire. I'm gonna have this. I'm gonna have that.
Talk about
And
it.
You know what I'm saying? And you envision these moments, and then when they don't come as soon as you want them to, you can get depressed, you can get in your head. And I had started to get depressed again.
Mhm.
I was clinically depressed years ago, and I beat that. Thank you, Jesus. But yeah, I recently through the summer, it was just a trying time for me. And that moment is what shifted. It was like a huge pivot in my life. I talk about paradigm shifts. And if you don't know what a paradigm shift is, basically it's not like a regular shift, like going from day and night. A paradigm shift is when something drastically changes or happens in your life that before that thing happened, it'll never be that again. And that's what that moment was for me. I have interacted with Beyonce several times, but for her to be on that stage, this is my first Renaissance show. For me to be that close to her, she sees me, points at me, and says, I want to thank you for your loyalty, especially you. And then she says to me after that, because some people don't hear what she says after that because I'm screaming, right? But what she says after that, I really do thank you and I love you. And she told me she loved me so many times throughout that night. And something emoted out of me where I began to have a spiritual moment with me and God. No one was in that concert besides me and him at that moment. And I knew that it was him that used Beyonce for me to be able to understand that moment.
Oh,
And
that is deep.
it transcended anything that has happened to me this year. Definitely.
Wow. Wow, that's fabulous. I'm trying to keep it together because it's almost about to be a tear.
Oh, thank you, girl, because I done cried. What she say in church, girl? I've been up, I've been down.
Okay.
Real life. Real.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh wow. I'm taken aback by that answer. I just that was deep. That's beautiful. And for you to like just feel all of those emotions at once, and for it to be like almost a double meaning, like ooh, I have chills right now, honestly.
It's God. It's all him.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is.
Wow. Okay. Well, that explains the moment. So you have taken part in a lot of shows. One thing I admired about what you did on your live, you had a moment where you gave away some tickets to the shows. So for you to have that moment where Beyonce acknowledged you and you got to experience the show and all that comes with it, for you to have the opportunity to provide that to someone else and allow them to have that experience, how did that feel for you? Just your take on that.
Yeah, so I started giving tickets away back on the Run 2 tour in 2018, and it was almost like an accident how it started. But basically, people had bought all these tickets for On the Run 2, and for some reason they saw me and this was when I was Prince of the Beehive, is what I was called. Because before you're king, you got to become prince. Remember that. And so I was Prince of the Beehive, and that year they had given me the title King of the Beehive, and so people had started noticing me after Coachella and On the Run 2, and my popularity had started to get really big, and people would give me tickets to give to people. They were, I can't go, or my son is graduating, I don't want these tickets to go away. My dad is having a birthday on that day, I can't go. Can I give you these tickets to give to someone? I did that one time. And by the end of that tour, I gave away probably about 10 different tickets at different shows, all because people were giving them to me to give to the fans. So this time, after the Especially You moment, I said, you know what, I'm going to create a contest and I'm going to give away one ticket because someone gave me a ticket to give away. I get on live and I didn't know how I was going to do it. And I had these 3 finalists, and they're on my live, and it's on my page, but they gave me the most heartfelt emotions and stories about what Especially You meant to them. And when someone points to you and says, you know, thank you, especially you. What does that mean for you? What does it, and the, woo, I was just crying. And as I'm listening to them, God said, give them all tickets. And I didn't have the means to do it. I didn't. Not at that time, Chad, because I'm trying to get my money to Beyonce for myself. and what people don't know, and I'll tell you this, Tiffany, what people don't know, when I gave those tickets away, it was the week of the show for Atlanta, which, you know, she came 3 times. I didn't have no tickets myself. The only ticket that I had was that Nashville ticket when I saw her for the Especially You moment. I didn't have any tickets after that. So when I gave these tickets away, I was literally praying. I was sowing seeds. I didn't realize, but I was sowing seed for each show in Atlanta. It's 3 shows in Atlanta. It was 3 contestants on my live. I gave them each a ticket, and God gave me more than 3 tickets. All 3 of y'all are going.
What?
All 3 of y'all is gonna go.
I shook.
But I love to give back. I love for people to, no other gift is greater than seeing joy rising from Beyonce fans. Like, you get to see Beyonce, oh girl. It's one of the, it was one of my absolute top moments of 2023 for me.
Yeah, it's special. It was special to watch. I like how God and faith is like at the center of every moment. I know sometimes there's a lot of criticism with Beyonce and things like that, but a lot of her messaging is faith-based, and you know that transcends into her fans, into her audience. So it's very powerful. What's happening.
Yes.
Yeah. I want to talk about something a bit controversial. Mute challenge. So, just whatever you want to say. What were your thoughts about that? The fact that it existed, how it came about, the winners. That, just give me your take.
So I'm gonna give grace. I love to give grace to people, right? So when we first saw, because the world was watching that first show on Instagram, Twitter, wherever you were, Facebook, we were like, who is live? Who's live? And when Sweden, I think, was the first show, when they did that, and we're just watching everybody on mute, and nobody stopped. We're just like, look around and see, like, it was like whatever. And as time progressed, and we realized, oh, this is a contest. The first show that I went to was Nashville, and honestly, I feel like Nashville started really paying attention. Like, we were like, oh no, we gotta be quiet. Okay. And then all these cities started after that. Atlanta night 1, where she said, you won. Y'all won. I literally was so proud of my city. I was like, yes, we did it. And then Houston, I went to the Houston show. I didn't go to the New Orleans show. But Houston and New Orleans, they definitely took it from Atlanta. I hate to say that, but
I just want to throw in, I was at the New Orleans show.
Oh, girl. Well, girl, y'all did y'all thing.
Thank you.
It was really good. It was I love that it brought people together. Like, it didn't matter what you look like, didn't matter what, and that was the Renaissance. It was gay, straight, bi, trans, if you were a child or you saw people that had to be in their 70s. The Kansas City show, I love that there were so many people of different races. I sat on a row full of my vanilla sisters and brothers, and they were rocking, and some of them, I called them the Golden Girls. It was 3 of them, Blanche, Rose, and Dorothy. They was awesome. They were sitting next to me, getting their life to Beyonce, and when they knew to be quiet too. So I'm like, this is transcending age and color and gender, and who else could do that but Beyonce?
Period. It's amazing to watch. Like, just going to the show, aside from Beyonce performing, just watching what's happening at the show is a thing in itself. And then you get the show on top of that. Like,
girl, you said that because a lot of people don't realize just going to see, it was a fashion show. It was a dance battle. It was so many different things in one show before the show even started. So yes, love that.
And then on top of that, and I don't want to start my rants because I can go on all day. But on top of that, Beyonce got the stores on lock. What other artist gonna have a section dedicated to a concert?
Girl,
I've seen nobody else do that.
girl.
I haven't seen it.
It's crazy. And then like I literally was in Los Angeles. Girl, every silver sparkle thing was sold out. Like, I mean, I was just trying to get like some gloves for my fit. Couldn't find any. It was just so crazy how powerful her artistry is. It was insane, actually.
Yeah, yeah. And then like and I'm just gonna speak briefly about a little bit of my piece. So I went to New Orleans. I had never been to New Orleans before. So that was a thing. And then going downtown, just walking in the stores, Beyonce playing. You know, I went to a restaurant. They had Beyonce themed menu and drinks. Like the impact. Like
Yes.
whew.
It's insane. I think what hit me the hardest because out of the 7 shows, I went to Nashville, LA, Kansas City, and Houston. And I had never been to these cities to see Beyonce. I've only seen Beyonce in New Orleans and in Atlanta, in New York. And so when I went to Houston, I went to Houston last year when her album came out, and that was my first time going. But this year, I was invited to be on their radio, on the biggest hip hop R&B radio station in Houston, and I got interviewed there, and I'm meeting so many prominent people. And what was so crazy was the love. And you might agree with me or you might not even understand what I'm about to say. But the amount of straight Black men that were fans of Beyonce, and I don't mean like, oh yeah, I love Beyonce. No, they knew Beyonce from Destiny's Child. They knew, oh, she was in Girls Time. Before Girls Time, she was in the Dolls. And I'm like, and I'm not used to that. I'm used to, the girls. But I was just so intrigued. They love Beyonce. They put on for her. So seeing the different cocktails, like you're saying, the menus, and I mean, just all over Houston, it was so amazing to watch and see.
Yeah. Speaking of events and things like that, you're known to throw a party or two. Tell me about why that became a thing for you. What's the meaning for that decision?
Absolutely. A lot of the things that I do, I say happened as an accident. Or it wasn't, I might have thought about it, but I didn't know if I would ever do it. And I think I was born to be successful and I was born to be creative. And so to put those two things together, along with my faith and my love for Beyonce, it just felt right to do. If I do a brunch, if I do Sunday fun days, I'm about to have Thick Giving this weekend, which is basically Friendsgiving. But of course, we got to put Beyonce in it, so it's Thick Giving. Or if I do Slayween or Holla Slay, which is the holiday parties, it's a time for a community of Beyhivers to get together, meet each other, and let us all celebrate the queen. But I love celebrating them as well because, like you said, you're not used to people being in a Beyhive community. They might like Beyonce, but it's hard to find us. When you find us, girl, you like, oh, let me latch on to you. That's what I wanted. I wanted to build a community. ATL Hive was something that I founded in 2020, and I wanted to build community for the Beyhive so that you can go across the world and go to London and go meet Jessie who loves Beyonce. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It makes a difference when you build community through an artist like this. So yeah.
For sure. And I guess that kind of leans into when you talked about, you know, how it kind of started as an accident and you know, you just kind of ran with it. That kind of leans into, I guess, your social media and posting content, that type of thing, would you say?
Yes, because if you remember years ago, 2015 to be exact, hashtag Beyonce always on beat.
Oh,
So I did not create that. It was a
Mhm.
guy on Twitter named Kenny that created it. And I
Shout out to
remember
Kenny.
seeing it. I remember seeing it. Sorry, my dog shut the door.
Oh, I was like, wait, no. What happened?
It's my dog. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
okay. No problem. No
Okay.
problem.
Okay. Okay, let me go back. So
Mhm.
so Kenny is the one that created the hashtag Beyonce always on beat.
Mhm.
And I remember seeing it for the first time and I was like, I didn't even understand what it was. I was like, why do they have Beyonce dancing to Nucky Buck? Like, wait, what? And then I started seeing more, and then I saw someone say, like, it started going viral, and I understood the assignment. So I was like, I'm pretty good at this, I think. Let me try it. And so I ended up doing one, and then I did another one, then I did another one. By the thick of it, I was doing 20 a day and posting them. Some would flop, but some would go viral.
Yeah.
And when that started to happen, I really trained myself and to know what my audience was liking. And so I stuck to it. And then I started going to other artists, Tamar Braxton, Michael Jackson, Prince, Janet, Sierra. I started doing these other, Sierra always on beat. And it just gave me my own name. It gave me my own name. And then at some point I realized by 2018, I had been doing it for so many years now. And I was like, yeah, it's time for me to switch it up. And that's where the King of the Beyhive was basically born into what it is now.
Okay, cool. So next we're gonna talk cuff it moment. Okay, so what this moment is, like, say for instance, we've been following Beyonce a really long time, like Destiny Child days. This moment could be Destiny Child, or it could be after. For me, what I mean by cuff it moment is like the moment you felt like you were locked in, like, oh, I'm ride or die at this point. For me, like, I remember a significant moment when Crazy in Love hit in the video, and like at the beginning she did a little head tilt. You ready? Like, that was it for me, and I've never been ready for what she puts out. I've never been ready, but that's my moment. Like, I knew from then, I was like, oh, this my girl, we about to rock. So what was like a lock-in moment, or it could be multiple, just to let me know how you feel about that.
Oh, girl, that's a great question. And I love these little cuppets and energy. You said that, Tiffany. I'm here for it.
Thank you.
You're welcome, girl. I feel that there were like probably two pivotal moments. The first one, I did not know Destiny's Child I did not know the same girls that sang No, No, No were the same girls that sang Bills, 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 and Bugaboo. Did not know, because if you look at those three videos, they look different. Like, they look like, and it was just a year. It was just a year difference. No, 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 they look like little teenage girls. And Bills, 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 and Bugaboo, they look like grown women. So I did not know until I watched on TV that, you know, they were like, yeah, our first single was No, No, No. And they played the video, and I'm like, oh my God. So I had started a likeness for them. But it wasn't until I'll never forget, 2:00 in the morning, stayed up late watching MTV, and Say My Name came on. And I saw the two girls, I saw the main girls, didn't know their names. But it was B and Kelly, and then these other girls. And I'm like, wait, where's the other girls? Like, and I had just started liking them. So when I realized that they had replaced them, I said, oh, I got to get this album. I don't know what made me say it.
Mm-hmm.
Life changing moment for me because it spoke to everything as I was going through growing up. And I probably was locked in on Destiny's Child with Beyonce. What locked me in was Carmen.
Oh man.
Carmen locked me in a different way because I had been loving Beyonce and Kelly, Michelle at this point, but Carmen kind of gave me. She's something. She a little different. She can rap. She can sing. She's beautiful. She can dance. She's seductive. It was all of those things that made me say I am locked in. So it was definitely Carmen, and then the Say My Name video.
Okay, I love that. And I just want to say, by the way, Carmen, like the character, the death scene, that was the most beautiful way I've ever seen a movie character die. Like,
Girl,
oh my God. Like I just
girl.
ooh. Loki, I stay mad at like Most Def.
Oh my
in
God.
real life forever.
Still, and the way she oh my God. Oh, anyway.
Yeah. Okay, so now this is gonna be kind of rapid fire. I want to get all up in your mind. Okay.
Come on, titles. Okay.
So these are Beyonce favorites. So, what's your favorite? I know this might be kind of hard. It may not. I don't know. You can just answer it to the best of how you feel. Favorite Beyonce album, and then you can tell me briefly why.
B-Day. My favorite album is because that is when I became ridiculously a fanatic. Like it got bad at that time. Dreamgirls did it for me.
Got it. Okay. B-Day is one of my favorites too. One of my favorites. Yeah. What's your favorite TV moment? It could be like an interview or show or.
Woo! Okay, girl. I mean, somebody can send you your luggage. Somebody can send you your luggage. No, they can't. Baby, the shade from that Virgo teenage Beyonce. Favorite moment. Sorry.
And it never goes away. Like that always pops up randomly.
Yes! I'm gonna post it tonight just so that people can just feel how they feel. Yes.
Favorite visuals.
Ooh. Oh my God. Ooh. I would say my favorite visuals, it probably would be self-titled.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to throw in real quick. It's not about me, but I just gotta say this. One of my favorite visuals is Black is King. The reason why, and I just have to say this because I just want this documented in history if I never do anything else.
Come on, girl. Okay.
Black is King was so powerful for me. That was like the only time in media and in like TV or the stuff that is representation. That's the first time I ever felt like proud to be a Black person. Like with so much history, so much culture, so much just like regal energy. Like I've never seen Black people displayed that way. And when I went outside and I saw people that wasn't Black, I was like, dang, it kind of sucks to not be Black. And that was the first time I ever felt that because, society will make us feel like sometimes we're at lowest on the totem pole.
Absolutely.
And after watching that, it felt like, I
get it. 100%
okay.
understand.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's fine. I love that. Black is King is so powerful. The music, the story, it's powerful. So I absolutely understand.
Okay. This may tie into what you said earlier with Carmen, but if there's a different one, what's your favorite movie? Beyonce movie?
Dreamgirls.
Oh.
Baby, let me tell you about me and Dream. I lit Dream. Oh, girl. I went to the movie and saw it. I saw it 12 times at the movie theater. Yes, I did. I made my mama take me every time I could get. When I was bored, I would just go. When it got, remember dollar movies? Remember when you go to the dollar movie?
Yeah.
Yep. When it got to the dollar movie, I saw it 2 more times. Sure did. Like, I went to a premiere in Atlanta. Did I sneak into it? No, I actually got tickets for that. But I went to like it was like a red carpet event, and I sure did. I saw it before everybody. And I went to I was in college at that time, and I went to school the next day, and I was like, y'all, I went and saw Dreamgirls last night. Here my pictures, here my proof. And I was like, y'all, Effie, Jennifer Hudson gonna win. So she was it was just that movie. Look at the smile. Like
I
get
know,
so
I can
happy.
tell.
I get so happy, but if
Mhm.
it's not that, it's obsessed because that heifer went in.
Oh, yeah.
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 Yes.
Okay. Favorite collab?
Oh.
First one that comes to mind.
Beautiful Liar.
Oh man.
Because the moment I saw that video,
Mhm.
I was in a computer lab at college, and I was looking, and I wasn't supposed to look at it. And I said, "What is this?" And I just, oh God, that video. It's not one of my absolute favorite songs, but the collaboration itself is pure gold.
I like that. All right, and lastly, favorite live performance. I know it's a lot, but first thing that comes to mind.
Oh, I already know. My
Oh.
number one, and it's still my number one, is Deja Vu at the BET Awards. That's when Beyonce said, "Bitch, I am here. I'm not going nowhere."
Mhm.
It was the most powerful performance. I think that she said, because that's when B-Day had came out, or it was about to come out, and this was her first performance after Destiny's Child had dissolved, and this is her sophomore album. She had a lot to still prove,
Mhm.
and that performance set her apart from any other performer at that time. So into now, so it'll always be BET Awards Deja Vu for me.
Okay.
And that was the year I graduated. So yes, high school. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, I like that. Okay, so we all know that Beyonce is that girl. Okay, so because she's that girl, there's many of lessons and things we can take away from her. I mean, we got pretty deep early in the convo, so I honestly I don't know where it can go from here. But what I wanted to know, and I'll share mine after you. I guess what's like something that's your biggest takeaway from just following, it could be in this era or just following Beyonce throughout her career? What's something that you've learned?
The biggest takeaway that I've learned from Beyonce is two things: stay humble
Mhm.
and keep your private life private.
Mm.
I've learned that all this year, honestly, and it's something that I've known in the back of my head, but I'll be quick and tell you, I remember going to a show in Atlanta 2018 for On the Run 2. And, you know, people recognized me, so they would come up to me and take pictures and say, "Hey, can I just give you a hug?" And I love that. It's so sweet. But I'll never forget one day after the show, I'm reading my DMs, and this one girl said, "Hey, I wanted to come say hey to you, but you were really mean." And after that, I was turned off to saying hi to you. And I don't know what the problem was, but you just seemed like you didn't want to be bothered. So I didn't. So I decided to just send you this DM to let you know. And I apologized to her, and I said, "I'm so sorry." And what she didn't know was, I remember after the concert, during the concert, I had, you know how you get new sneakers?
Mhm.
And you gotta get them, you rub them in or whatever they say, or my ankles were bleeding. Both of my ankles on my heels were bleeding from my sneakers. And I had white sneakers, so you could literally see the blood on the sneaker, and then it kept rubbing. I didn't have thick socks on. I had no-show socks. So it was rubbing against the sole of the shoe. And it was making it difficult for me to take a step. And when people had started to come up to me, I was a little aggravated because my ankles were burning. They were literally bleeding. And I did not realize these are people that are fans of mine, and I'm not treating them like I would want to be treated, but they don't know why I'm treating them like that.
Yeah.
So it made me say, huh, no matter what I'm going through, I can never turn around and put it on someone else, even if I'm hurting. They can't know that because all they know is, oh my God, it's the king of the Beyhive, it's Deron. I want to meet him. And I'm like, girl, go away from me with this. Sorry. It's because I was hurting. So it taught me then, because I'm sure Beyonce hurts. I'm pretty sure her stomach cramps up and she has to still be Beyonce. And so I've learned that. And of course, her private life, which we all know she keeps very private. But when she talks about her private life and she opens up, she has something to say.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I approach my private life now, not prior to.
Yeah.
But now I do that. So, yeah.
Okay. I feel like both of those are super valuable and super important. And I agree, for me, with me doing like content creating and it being an art form, a lot of my takeaway from what Beyonce does is like the educational piece of what she does and how she includes like history and knowledge into her art. I think that's important, and I think that it's something that's not really talked about a lot when it comes to Beyonce. Because like for me, I remember being younger and watching like one of the things that you mentioned, the Deja Vu performance, like just watching the behind the scenes, how she would talk about like Josephine Baker and these people that influence her look, the choreography. Even with Black is King, like how I mentioned, I follow her hairstylist, and he would post like the hairstyles and their history back to Africa and the symbolism of that type of thing. And just watching Beyonce Cadillac Records, I knew nothing about Etta James or Muddy Waters, maybe, I don't know, but I never knew nothing about the history of rock and roll and how we were like the ones that created the sound, and and how
Absolutely.
things were taken away from us. Like she's using her art not only to execute her vision, but teach us along the way. And I feel like that's super important, and a lot of times we wouldn't know those things if it wasn't for art, that type of thing, because society doesn't let us know that we are regal and the inventors and innovators. So that's something that I want to like incorporate into what I do in whatever way I can. But that's just something that I feel like is never mentioned, and she does a fabulous job with that. Like every project, it's something Renaissance with house music, and the history and giving accolades to the people that were involved in that. Like,
absolutely. And I love that you are aware of that. That lets me know that you're not just doing what you do just to be doing it. You're serving your purpose. Is
thank
what
you
that's
for saying
called.
that.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, we're gonna wrap it up. I just want to ask you just some couple questions about future expectations, that type of thing. First things first, Renaissance, December 1st. How are you feeling? Do you have expectations? What's your thoughts on that?
I am ecstatic. Today was the first day, just to kind of get myself pumped up for your interview. Earlier today, I watched my footage, and I haven't watched my footage in quite some time because I get a little depressed, I ain't gonna lie, because I want to go back.
Like Beyonce, come back.
Girl, come back, girl. You was gone forever. Don't you dare leave us like that again. And so I was watching my stuff that I have on my YouTube channel, and I was singing, I was dancing, and it just put me in such a great mood. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait to see this in a cinematic form, just to know that I'm going to experience it in her eyes.
Ooh.
And in her point of view. It gets me, because think about Coachella when we saw Homecoming versus Coachella Live versus Homecoming, because it's two different things, right? It's the concert, but then it's the concert film. And the concert, I was up at 4 o'clock in the morning here in Atlanta, getting my life. But when I saw it the homecoming film, and I saw the things that happened behind the scenes and her preparing because she hadn't been on stage in over a year and she's trying to get her body back in shape after having twins. Then she's telling us that one of her twins' heart stopped, and it's just like, girl, wait, what? It is. That's why I said what I was saying earlier. When Beyonce, she's very private, but when she talks, listen, And so I'm really, really excited about this movie, chat. And I know it's about to be Dreamgirls Part 2. I'm about to see it 13, 14 times, like I'm on tour again, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, you made an excellent reference to the Coachella and the homecoming. That's amazing. Like just that perception of it, like from her eyes. Like I was ready for that. I was like, oh, that was beautiful.
Yes. Girl, I'm so ready. Look, I'm so ready. I'm so crazy with my Beyhive stuff. I can't wait to hear her deep voice talk. And like, I just can't wait to just hear it. I woke up and I had some cereal.
Yeah.
And my baby asked me, Mom, what's the day? And I said, today is the day. Like, it's
That's hilarious. That was a fabulous impression, by the way. But yeah.
thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Last thing. So we're gonna talk moves, okay? So let's just say Beyonce calls you and she wants you to be a part of her next project, whatever that may be. Anything creatively, what do you feel like, or what would be your ideal collab with Beyonce?
Oh, that's really wow. Okay, so I would want to do something that serves the fans because I would want to share this moment with the fans. So on one note, I would love to just dance with Beyonce, like just do like a little, maybe it's just a little two-step,
Yeah.
and we just get it, that would be cute for like a visual.
Mm-hmm.
But if anything, I would say, Beyonce, let's go live.
Oh, you about to break the internet.
Girl, I would want to go live and do, since she loves do a 4-question interview.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, because you know how calculated she is. I would definitely let her know what I was going to ask. And it could be something like, girl, manifestation is real, so I'm going to manifest this. Now you done got me into the manifestation.
Yeah, absolutely.
She has a lot of things coming up. So me being able to talk to her maybe about her perfume or about the movie, because we know she doesn't do interviews, but she's never gone live before. So I would just love to go live with her, ask her 4 questions, and make history together.
Absolutely. Yeah. I feel like that will go down in history.
Girl, history. It will be in history books.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Well, Duran, I want to thank you so much for being a guest. I enjoyed talking with you so much and getting to know you a little bit better. If you would like to tell everyone your Instagram, anything that you may be working on coming up, just what you want the people to know.
So all my socials is I am Duran Jordan. Either I am Duran Jordan or I am Duran Jordan __. And I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, but I'm not a TikToker. My YouTube channel, and I don't know if I ever get back to Twitter, but we'll see, chat. But as far as what I'm working on, I am wanting to work on what I call the Cozy Drive. And the Cozy Drive is basically a way to give back to the community here in Atlanta through ATL Hive, which is it's not a foundation, but it is my organization. And so ATL Hive, we do basically like a coat drive to give back to the community that needs it. And then also I will be having a holiday soiree. I don't really know what that looks like just yet. I'm in the stages of pre-planning that for December, but we have to do something for the movie, so we'll see.
Oh, yes. All right. Well, sounds good. Again, I want to thank you for being a guest and thank everyone for watching. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you.